From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, India is a spellbinding mosaic of culture, tradition, languages, and an extraordinary mingling civilization. Keeping its age-old culture maintained, today the country is taking huge strides in the path of development. Hello, I'm your host, Kairim Zimik, and today in our episode of My India, we bring you some of the stories that will give you a glimpse of our country's diversity. With authorities doing their best to spread Covid-19 awareness among citizens, Samaritans and locals are also coming up with quirky ways and pieces of artwork to educate citizens regarding the virus. So today in our episode of My India, we will have a look at some similar examples to citizens whose artwork are turning out to be helpful in spreading Covid-19 awareness.
Art has the power to influence masses. Great leaders and thinkers have always used illustrations and artworks in different ways to influence the mindset and lifestyle of masses. With the country battling the second wave of the pandemic, quirky pieces of artworks, cartoons, jingles, and more such works are playing an important role in spreading awareness regarding the deadly virus. One such quirky campaign was recently launched in the northern city of Jammu, where members of voluntary humanitarian organization roamed around in the city and urged people to adhere to the COVID-19 guidelines. Members of the Red Cross Society, donned in coronavirus-themed helmets, roamed around the streets holding placards that contained messages urging people to maintain social distancing and use masks and sanitizers.
ये है कि ये जैसे धीरे धीरे गवर्नमेंट अब डील दे रही है, लोग बाहर निकल रहे हैं। अब लोगों को पता होना चाहिए कि साथ में हमारे केसेस भी बढ़ रहे हैं और डेथ्स भी बहुत बढ़ रही हैं। तो हमारा यही है कि हमने आज मार्च निकाली है, लोगों को अवेयर करें कि भाई अभी तक कोरोना ख़त्म नहीं हुआ है, तो वो अब सारे अपने SOPs फॉलो करें, मास्क डालें, डिस्टेंस रखें।
Meanwhile, in Chandigarh city, an artist painted his garage door with quirky graffiti to ignite a ray of hope in the hearts of people and express gratitude to the frontline workers who are risking their lives in the pandemic.
मुझे लगा कि अपना गैराज का डोर है ये, और इसी पे एक होप क्रिएट करने के लिए लिखा जाए, कुछ बनाया जाए, ताकि जब भी कोई आसपास गुजरता है उसको ऐसे लगे कि हाँ भाई होप है। होप इस चीज़ की कि एक दिन ये सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा। होप इस चीज़ की कि जो लोग हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट हुए हैं वो ठीक होकर अपने घर वापस आएंगे। तो एक होप उन सब के दिलों में जगाने के लिए मुझे लगा कि होप ही हमें लिखना चाहिए।
Graffiti depicting precautionary measures against the deadly virus is becoming a common trend in India, wherein artists in form of colorful messages pay tribute to the health workers and police personnel in the fight against coronavirus.
Moving on to Jammu and Kashmir, where youngsters of different religious communities had organized a plantation drive on the occasion of World Environment Day to give out loud the message of religious harmony, along with creating awareness regarding plantation of more and more trees.
History has made it evident. When all men of a country stand united, regardless of their differences, no force is strong enough to stop the nation from prospering. Citing an example of the unshakable bond among youngsters of different religious communities in the city of Srinagar, a plantation drive was organized on the occasion of World Environment Day. Local youth, be it from Hindu, Muslim or Sikh community, joined the drive to contribute to a greater cause.
The best part about today, I personally feel, is कि एक personal achievement है जहाँ पे कश्मीरी पंडित्स, Muslims, me being a Sikh, we are all together. The cause which is joining us together is the environment. So this is what it is. आप देख रहे हैं किस तरह से यहाँ पे हम लोग अपने neighbor में ही कोशिश कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे plantation करने की. This is a very beautiful park जो अभी थोड़ी इतनी अच्छी condition में नहीं है. हम कोशिश करेंगे कि थोड़ी सी शुरुआत करें और plantation करते रहें और अपने environment का ख्याल रखें.
The plantation drive was organized at the Lal Chowk area of Srinagar, where youngsters of different religious communities were seen planting saplings. For preventing natural disasters and making Srinagar a much greener and cleaner city, these saplings were planted on the banks of River Jhelum. The initiative was also supported by the Indian Army, who joined hands with the youngsters and planted saplings along with them. Youngsters were happy to be a part of this event and get an opportunity to interact with their brothers and sisters from other faiths.
नेचर सबको एक साथ लेके आता है, तो वही नेचर कोई नहीं देखता कि कौन सिख है, कौन हिंदू है, कौन मुस्लिम है, तो नेचर के साथ जुड़ के यही मैसेज पहुंचाना है. लेट्स मेक द कश्मीर पैराडाइज अगेन. लेट्स कम टुगेदर एंड join this venture.
It is occasions like these that bring people of various faiths together at one platform and strengthen the spirit of unity and brotherhood.
Now a roundup of some of the major stories that made news recently.
India has taken its vaccination drive to remote villages in tough terrains of Himalayan Jammu and Kashmir territory to vaccinate its citizens. Wearing protective overalls and carrying vaccine boxes, health workers and administrative officials were seen climbing steep hills to ensure that vaccination program covers everyone. In Anantnag district, administration is surveying nomadic tribes tents and conducting an on-spot vaccination drive for all those who had not gotten immunized.
आज पहली बार डॉक्टरों की टीम आई है, हम उनका बहुत करते हैं, शुक्रगुजार करते हैं, उन्होंने हमको सबको वैक्सीन की है.
Similar scenes were also witnessed in a remote village Padal of Samba district, where local officials are conducting a sampling and vaccination drive. A group of rickshaw taxi drivers in the Indian capital of New Delhi is doing its part to help contain the country's raging coronavirus outbreak by converting their vehicles into makeshift ambulances to provide Covid-19 patients with first aid services. Ajay Kumar is one of the owners of the three-wheeler makeshift ambulances who serve the patients and their families free of charge. Like his fellow drivers, Kumar strictly observes health protocols while working, wearing safety goggles, facial shield and protective suit throughout his shift, even when temperature outdoors rises to 40 degrees Celsius.
एक ग्रुप बना हुआ है, ग्रुप में सब अपने एरिया में बैठे हुए हैं, वो वहाँ से हमको मैसेज आता है, कॉल आती है, फिर हम जाते हैं वहाँ पे.
Kumar starts his daily first aid shift at a hospital's entrance at 8 in the morning and finishes at 8 p.m, after which another driver would come to replace him. The ambulance fleet now consists of 20 rickshaws spread across the city. The rickshaw ambulances can be easily identified as their carriage is usually wrapped in large-size photos of the fleet and printed with emergency call numbers in large bold text. A public charitable trust in India's southern Chennai city is distributing free food and gifts to draw the people to the vaccine center and encourage them to get the COVID-19 doses. The organization is providing free food including popular spicy rice dish biryani, masks, sanitizers and many other gifts hamper to attract the residents.
I am very happy to get my first shot today, and they are giving a free gifts and some bumper prizes and all. So people, please come forward to get your vaccination without any hesitation.
The number of beneficiaries has shot up by 8 times since the organization came up with the reward scheme. India has been inoculating its people with the AstraZeneca vaccine produced locally at the Serum Institute of India, Covaxin, made by local firm Bharat Biotech, and has begun rolling out Russia's Sputnik V.
Moving on, the COVID-19 pandemic has proved that strength lies in standing together and not surrendering to adversities. Examples of citizens coming together and joining hands for help and prayers were seen in different parts of the country in bygone months. In northeastern city of Imphal, different religious leaders came together at an interfaith meet to pray for healing and harmony in the world. Have a look.
The COVID-19 pandemic has turned the entire world into a big family which stands by each other in all kinds of crises and has each other's back in all adverse situations. In India too, people of all religious and socio-economic backgrounds were seen coming together, helping and motivating each other in different ways to boost the morale of commoners and COVID warriors. Recently, an interfaith prayer was organized in Imphal city of Manipur as a show of India's unified strength and brotherhood against the deadly virus, which was also attended by Biren Singh, Chief Minister of Manipur.
Everyone accepted that divine is there, God is there. When people's humanities face troubles and the unbearable burdens, we always pray to God. It brings peace in mind. It brings unity amongst the communities. It brings the oneness to fight against such pandemic with spiritual strength. That is why I organize this, that all religious join prayer.
The prayer meet was attended by leaders of different religious organizations like Archbishop Reverend Dominic Lumon, priests from Sri Sri Govindaji Temple Board, Jamiatul Ulema, Gyani Gurdwara Prabandhak Committee and many more. These priests together joined hands and prayed to the Almighty for healing and protection of all citizens from coronavirus. Religious leaders and representatives gave out loud the message of communal harmony and preached about oneness and unity.
भगवान ने इंसान पैदा किया, ठीक है, इंसान भगवान ने पैदा किया और धर्म इंसान ने पैदा कर लिया। जो भगवान का असल में धर्म है ना, वो यही है भी जहाँ पर भी आप रहते हो, पूरी इंसानियत के तौर पे पूरे लोगों का ख्याल रखना है। कोई सिख है, कोई मुसलमान है, कोई हिंदू भाई है, वो अपने अपने तरीके से भगवान को याद करता है। मैं पहले भी बात किया, अगर मान लो हमने एयरपोर्ट पे जाना है, जहाँ से बहुत रास्ते चले जाएंगे, लेकिन हमारी मंजिल जो है एयरपोर्ट है। रास्ता अलग अलग हो सकता है, लेकिन हमारा जो मनसा है, हमारी जो इच्छा है, जो भावना है, वो केवल उस परमात्मा के लिए ही।
It is events like these that show India stands united and unshakable even in difficult times like that of a pandemic.
Jammu and Kashmir is said to be one of the most suitable beekeeping places in India owing to its natural resources and favourable climatic conditions. But despite this fact, the Union Territory imports honey worth ₹8.5 million from other states. The reason being the improper utilization of its potential. But this scenario is about to change as people across territory, especially in Rajouri district, are entering into beekeeping either as a hobby or entrepreneurial venture with the help of Agriculture Department.
The nectar collected by the bees from the meadows, orchards, forests and gardens is considered among the finest across the globe. Jammu and Kashmir being home to all of them and the need of very less pesticides on its land creates a favourable atmosphere required for producing organic honey. At present, when people are finding ways to boost immunity against the Covid-19, there is surge in demand for such pure and natural honey. As a result, a number of people in the territory are entering into this lucrative business of honey beekeeping. While many who have been in the business for long are reaping great profits with administration's help. Haji Muhammad Ishaq, a resident of Dandesar village in Rajouri's Naushera Tehsil, has been doing honeybee farming for the last 30 years. He said that be it through trainings or subsidies, Agriculture Department had always supported them.
राजौरी चीफ साहब की तरफ से, एग्रीकल्चर डेवलपमेंट अफसर की तरफ से हमें हर तरफ हर कदम कदम पे हमें वो सहायता मिलती है, चाहे कोई सब्सिडी की बात हो, चाहे शीट की बात हो, चाहे पेटियों की सब्सिडी की बात हो। जब जो भी डिमांड हमने दी है गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से जो अवेलेबल है वो हमें हर कदम और हर टाइम पे मिलती है। और उनके स्टाफ का एक आदमी भी डिप्यूट किया हुआ है जो हमें नए जो भी जितने भी नए बेनिफिशियल बनते हैं उनको टाइम टाइम पे वो आते हैं और ट्रेनिंग भी देते हैं। पहले ट्रेनिंग दे के मधुमक्खी देते हैं, उसके बाद भी उनको मदद करने के लिए महीने में 15 दिन के अंदर एक उनका मुलाजिम आता है और हर तरह की हमें वो हदायत दे जाता है।
In the last few years, Dandesar village has become the hub of honeybee farming, with as many as 200 farmers involved in this activity and have around 2,000 man-made hive boxes. The honey produced here is famous for its pureness, as it is a hilly area and has abundance of flowers and vast tracts of horticulture land. The only problem that farmers face is marketing of their honey. They say government should open more avenues to help them sell their produce without much hassle.
इन लोगों की एक डिमांड है कि यहाँ मार्केटिंग नहीं है। हम लोग मेहनत करते हैं, शायद हमारे पास होता है कम से कम कुछ लोग हैं जिनके पास 30-30 क्विंटल भी शायद होता है, लेकिन उसकी मार्केटिंग नहीं है। सभी की यही डिमांड है कि यहाँ कोई मार्केटिंग होनी चाहिए इसकी, और ताकि ये लोग जो शायद इनके पास होता है वो एक ही जगह दे के और वो पैसे लेके वो अपना कोई कारोबार बढ़ा सकें।
The authorities in Jammu and Kashmir have also been taking a number of initiatives to give boost to beekeeping industry. At present in Kashmir Valley, there are 70,000 bee colonies, but the government is now planning to take the number to 7 lakh in the next 5 years. That could generate employment for 1.14 lakh families. Moreover, training centers have also been set up in almost all the districts to conduct demonstration for farmers about honeybees and their management.
पहला नंबर तो हमारे डिपार्टमेंट ने लोगों को ट्रेन करने के लिए एक डिमॉन्स्ट्रेशन कम ट्रेनिंग सेंटर रखे हुए हैं। ये 3 सेंटर हैं, इनके नाम है, एक बुदुल का सेंटर है, एक दराल का सेंटर है और एक थना मंडी का सेंटर है। इन तीनों में हमने कम से कम 136 जो है ना बी हाइव्स 3 जगह पर अलग अलग जगह पर रखे हुए हैं, लोगों को ट्रेन करने के लिए, लोगों को डिमॉन्स्ट्रेट करने के लिए कि कैसे कैसे शायद जो ये मक्खी पालन किया जाता है। तो इसके अलावा हमारे जो प्राइवेट लोग हैं उन्होंने भी इस यहाँ से ट्रेनिंग लेके तकरीबन 1441 कॉलोनी जो है वो राजौरी में इस टाइम लोग रेयरिंग कर रहे हैं उनमें।
Jammu and Kashmir is estimated to produce about 70 metric tons of honey annually. And this amount is definitely going to increase in the coming years, with number of youngsters in the territory opting for honeybee farming as a source of livelihood. The reason being, it does not need much investment apart from pollen and nectar from flowers, which is easily available in the territory.
Next, we bring you a few short stories about the recent developments and happenings from around the world in our section World in Focus. Shibuya town in Tokyo is a young fashion center in the capital. It has the best of fashion stuff and is visited by many young people. Many places in this town are famous among foreigners. A famous attraction in this traffic intersection, it is called Shibuya Crossing. It is just outside the main exit of Shibuya station. There are 3 pedestrian crossing signposts on the scramble walkway. At one scramble intersection, many people randomly walk across in all directions, but they don't get in the way of each other. Today it is known all over the world as a cityscape that symbolizes the Japanese people. It was first built in 1973.
スクランブルになってからは車をすべて止めて人だけが渡るサイクルは一度しかありませんので、いろんな方向に好きなように渡れるというルールができました。それぞれの方向に渡るのにぶつからないで渡れるっていうのがまず不思議だということが言われるようになりました。その後一度の信号で1000人が渡れるように渡れると それからもう少し経つと2000人の人が一つの信号で一度に渡ります。その後現在では3000人の人が一番多い時に、一度に渡るというふうなことが世界中に伝わって、有名になった交差点です。
This bronze statue of a dog attracts foreign tourists. The dog's name is Hachiko. It kept waiting for his dead owner for years in front of Shibuya station. Then the bronze statue created to honor Hachiko became a famous meeting spot for visitors in Shibuya. Shibuya now represents one of the modern urban areas in Japan, and with renewal it will attract foreigners from many countries around the world. As the leaders of G7 began to arrive at the southwestern tip of the UK, on their likeness have also appeared on the site of the Cornish coast. Artists Joey Rush and Alex Rakic created the sculpture nicknamed Mount Recycle More of the leaders of the G7 out of electronic waste to highlight the huge amount of tech and gadgets that goes unrecycled globally each year.
What we've done here is we've depicted the 7 main characters of the G7 conference, with Boris Johnson on the left and Joe Biden on the
far
right.
left.
Yeah, on the far left. Yeah, and basically it's to make them, to sort of say, you've got to work together on this one. You've got to build it into the way we do things, that we can recycle things, that we can repair things, and that we don't just waste things.
They are hoping the sculpture will encourage the 7 heads of state to work together to tackle the issue internationally. According to the UN, the 53 million tons of electronic waste generated globally each year will more than double by 2050, making it the fastest growing waste stream in the world. Most of more than 20,000 waste items for the sculpture came from the company that commissioned the work, Music Macbee, which runs an e-commerce website where people buy and sell second-hand electronic goods. Nakano area is located near the center of Tokyo, where high-rise buildings are lined up. Nakano Soon Mall Shopping Street is a lively arcade shopping street. Every day, people from all generations visit and enjoy shopping here. This place has kept its energy intact and is always buzzing, although many other shopping arcade streets are on the decline due to big shopping malls and booming internet sales. The carp-like decoration, koinobori, is hung from the roof of the arcade and is a cultural custom to celebrate Children's Day.
小学生、保育園児の方たちが手作りの鯉のぼりを、このアーケード内に、飾らせてもらっております。とっても大好評で、今年で4回目のイベントになります。
After passing through its shopping street, there is a shopping area called Nokana Broadway that is popular among foreign tourists. There are many manga comic stores and animation character stores, and it is known as the place where the culture of animation became popular worldwide. The shopping street in Nakano will always be full of people of all generations and many tourists, and it will keep its status as a famous tourist attraction representing Japan. That's all we have for you this week. Your comments and suggestions are important to us. Do give us your feedback at myindia@enin.com. I'm your host, Skyri Manitz. Goodbye from the entire production team.